coming to Brizzy? Anyone want to come? First weekend of March, March 1st, 2nd. Hey,
No.
Kane? No.
We need to check my checkies and my savings.
Just putting it out there early.
I've checked early and there's not enough weeks.
Look, I could potentially
We've got
book
15 weeks,
everything
man.
on Afterpay. Booking.com, book my motel on Afterpay. Flights on webjet.com.
Yeah.
Book my flights on Afterpay.
But you know what else?
Moriore te mana no mai hoki mai. Welcome back to the practice run, your frontline pass of the hardest sports station, brought to you by who? None other than the Tukoherangi, the Sam Te-Rangi, and the Rawiri Rātahi. We're diving deep into the thrilling world of the Rugby League. We're diving deep into the thrilling world of the NRL and Rugby League today. And who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. Like we said, hopefully to Australia to watch some live games. Anywhere but Auckland, really. From the try line to the sideline, we've got you covered.
Strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit-up, the practice run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win, experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the practice run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory. The practice squad, where every listener is MVP, powering our play every episode, every day.
And look, Whānau. Are you done?
Huh?
You done? Yeah, that's the end of your line, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Whānau. It's officially the end of the season. There's no more rugby league left. It's depression. It's depression season. Because when you don't get... Is the NBA and the NFL streamed like... Well, not the NFL's on specific days, but are there games on every day on ESPN, or do you have to get League Pass?
Nah, you have to get League Pass.
Yeah, not every day, but most days.
Yeah.
I think it's like... They used to do it where there would be at least 3 days of the week there'd be games, and then 2 days of the week it would be double headers. I think Saturday's always a double header, and Thursday or Wednesday.
I just hate how they're always in the middle of the day. You know, like in the afternoons, evenings, all we have left to watch this season is cricket.
Hey, we got 2 more weeks of rugby.
2 more mornings of rugby.
Yeah.
What do I get to watch in the evening? You're like sitting there, nestling in for the evening, and then
NBL.
how fucking boring is that? How's that? Umpire. At least we get... Look, mate, I have no try. Just check grounding. Check whether he's Middle Eastern and if he's onside. Thank you. It's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long summer. That's the only thing I don't like about summers. You know, you got no footy. Do have a little bit of basketball, but that's over by 5 p.m.
Yeah, it's always the early arvo. If it's a double header, you're looking at like a 1:30 game. The next one's normally 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Although that's why I love Boxing Day. You know, nothing better than being a little bit dusty, and then you got all the NBA Christmas Day games. And you're just like, yeah, tuck into that. A bit of leftover hangi, or I don't know, what do you park out eat? We have hangi on Christmas. Just tucking into all of that. It's a vibe. And then just kick back and watch the NBA. Today, we will be going over the games from the weekend. The Tongans and the Kangaroos, and the Kiwis and the Papua New Guinea. And then after that, we will be doing a season review on the Seagulls, Knights, and the Sharks. So, diving into that right now. Presented to you by Spotify, where all good audio podcasts, audiobooks, and music is. Spotify, stream free at spotify.com. Not actually sponsored by Spotify, but one day. Also, you can find our podcast on Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to listen to us on the go, head over to Spotify at spotify.com and type in the practice run. Your frontline pass, the hardest sports section. Not actually, don't do the last part. Samuel Aurelius Tirangi, why don't you give us a quick breakdown of your thoughts and opinions on the Kangaroos in Tonga?
Yeah, my thoughts. I thought it was quite a smart game plan from both sides. I feel like Tonga, it was pretty clear they're just trying to go straight through the middle. They're going to try and bash you, like kind of what we expected. I didn't really expect Aussie to go more so side to side. Like a lot of Aussie went down one side, then they would just quickly swing it to the other, and then that's where they would take advantage. Was Hamaso would just kind of like look to get on the outside of Paul Alamoti. Yeah, and then I don't know. You guys had the breakdown on Dearden. He's gonna show and go. I don't know how many of those got fallen for. It was it was a bit more of that, and then Turbo, man. When he is fit, when he is healthy, it is a joy to watch. A genuine joy to watch. But I also thought what was really good is that like their back three did so much damage, especially early, in terms of like getting the quick play the balls. So yeah, I really like that. And then I think kind of like the halves just kind of iced moments when they really needed to, like for both sides. I thought when it got to like 20 to 6, like Aussie were just gonna smoke Tonga. So for Tonga to really fight back and get that game looking like a bit more of a contest towards the end, in the final 20, which was pretty unexpected for me. I kind of thought once that hit, it'd be over. It'd be over, and Aussie might like pull away again. So for Tonga to get back into it, I thought was a really encouraging sign for them. But yeah, overall, I don't really remember a lot of the game. Is the issue. So
yeah. Look, I'm with you on that. I got a few vibes I'm taking away from it, rather than breakdowns of that actual game. But one thing that really stood out for me is Tonga are only a couple of pieces away from seriously contending against Australia on a regular basis, rather than a one-off flash in the pan victory. Tonga are really close, probably closer than what our current Kiwis team, this iteration of the Kiwis team, is to knocking off Aussie. You mentioned it with that fight back, that valiant fight back that Tonga had to sort of get back within punching distance. Obviously, a little too late in the game to actually do anything about, but the ability for the Tongan team to fight back, and they showed a gritty win versus the Kiwis, when the Kiwis, all they needed to do was just draw. The Tongans found a way to overcome that and win that when they scored 1 point in that second half versus us. So for them to sort of put points on the board in the second half, late in the second half, shows a lot of guts, grit, and determination for this Tongan side. And they're going to be scary. Maybe not this next World Cup, maybe one after, potentially. I think it's a 9 and a 6 away from being super competitive. They've got the 7, they've got the 1, they've got the forward pack in abundance, and they've got Paul. I hate Paul, but they've got a Paul. I think, this Tongan team, they're ready. And although there's only one Tongan-born Tongan on this team, the Taumalolo effect has definitely helped this Tongan side become competitive. And let's just hope for some consistency and some continuity. As for the Kangaroos, look, anything less than a victory is just so what do they call that? A disappointing season. 20 points, I still don't think it's enough points for this Aussie team, for the amount of quality players that they have, from 1 all the way through to about 27. Even though I know there's not 27 people on this team, they've just got that much depth available at the ready. So, you expect a lot more from the Kangaroos. Is this the Kangaroos Slipping, no. They don't have their A stars. They're still a Nathan Cleary and a Cam Munster away. They got missing what's his name? Cam Murray as well. Potentially a Payne Haas, but he's leaning, I guess, more towards playing for Samoa. So there's pieces to this puzzle that could still be connected to complete this Australian side, but I don't think there's going to be a clear-cut decided victory in the next World Cup that the Kangaroos can take it out before the competition even starts. I think other teams will have a chance to compete against them. Am I saying that they'll beat Australia in the final? Not at all. I'm just saying that it's not going to be as clear-cut as it has been in previous years.
Yeah, that's like a good point to go off. I mean, from what I saw, I don't watch much of the game either, but a good building block for Tonga. You're right? Like, I think we said it before, they need a 6 and a 9. They got a 6, don't they? I think they're just waiting for them to come through. Latu Fainu, could he be their 6? Or is he Samoan? Do we know?
No, he's Tongan. He's Tongan.
Because him and his brother...
Tongan.
Yeah.
You got Samuel, who I'm assuming was a bit unlucky to maybe not make this team. Maybe he was injured or something. I know they got a lot of good forwards there, in particular in second row, but you thought he might have at least made the squad and just maybe not made that on day 17. So yeah, I think they're just waiting for him to come through. Latu, I mean, he can't be too far off. I mean, Lolo Here's had a great run. Isn't he the most capped Tongan? Salute to him.
Yeah.
But it's about time they pulled the trigger. But yeah, I don't know where they got a 9. I can't see any 9s coming through really, unless they turn Latu into a 9.
Not a fan of Sonny Luke.
I just felt he had his time and it's kind of gone. not saying that he can't be a good. Yeah, how old is he? I actually don't know.
Yeah,
I've got no idea. I just thought by now,
he's actually way older than I thought.
Well, how old did you thought he was?
I thought he'd be maybe 23, 24.
Nah, how old is he?
28.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What?
Yeah, but he's 28.
Oh, yeah, nah, you've had your chance.
Yeah. I mean, I think he'll be good for Tonga. Just if they can find another one or maybe turn someone into that 9. But they're not too far off, man. And as long as they got their forward... It's just their forward pack might be aging.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I'll be a little bit worried about... But they got young ones coming through. I just don't know, do they have any young middles coming through? They all seem to be second rowers. But I mean, if Kafusi can play second row, then look like a half-decent prop. I don't see why not some of these other boys can't be. So shout out to them. I mean, Lehi Hopewari, I've been a big fan since he last played us or since he smoked us and then showed up in that final game we had, and he just seems to go strength to strength. Yeah, he's someone to watch out for, but kind of just give Tonga props for their solid performance in this competition. Yeah, I just remember the 10 minutes that I watched. It was just all Aussie, and it was the one time Tonga made mistakes. I think Katoa kicked it dead off a try, and then Turbo looked like he scored, but then that one got taken off him. Then I think he almost scored again, the next set over.
Yep.
Turbo was just, I don't know, he entered turbo mode for that 10 minutes I watched, and it was just, everyone knows how good he is, but sometimes you low-key forget till he does shit like that, and you're like, that's right, I forget. You're a superstar. Aussie did what they had to do, got the job done. Good on them. Congratulations. But yeah, I think I'm with you a little bit here, Darwin. I feel as though the gap has closed in a bit on the international scene, but I feel as though it's more closer between the Kiwis and the rest. I still think Aussie are well ahead of the rest, but now Kiwis kind of... I guess we didn't have all of our stars here as well, but yeah, I feel as though it's shrunken a little bit, but yeah, It's a bit of an iffy one. Now it's not so much a foregone conclusion. Like I guess the feeling is now. Before, right? All the Kiwis and Aussies had to do was just show up, and it didn't matter. But now it's like you have to show up and actually play well. Because if you don't, these other teams can kind of snipe you and catch you off guard. And next thing you know, you're down 24 zip. And it's hard to win any game when you're down 24 zip. So yeah, this next World Cup will be interesting. I'd like to face Samoa a few times. I feel, and then play England a few times. I feel as though there's not enough international rugby because I'd like us to play more games just against other top tier nations, just so we could get a better gauge on.
That's the only reason Australia are good is they have a lot of combinations playing together at the Origin rep level. We don't get those combinations. We barely play in the same clubs. Back in the day, it used to be 80% from the Warriors and then a few sprinklings of players from other clubs like the Tigers, Storm, and shit like that. But now, a lot of our players come from almost every team. Yeah. So it's hard to find cohesiveness with our players because we don't have an extra 3-game series each year to collaborate and get good.
Yeah, and you kind of need to play at that top level to get better. I feel like you watch how players take that next step up when they've had a taste of being at their top tier. Like how many players come through Origin, kill at Origin, and then they kick on. For the Kiwi boys, it's more so the ones in Penrith because they're always playing in such intense games, so they're used to it. They're used to the moments. They're used to being in that grind. The ones who play international, they come from the lower ranked teams. It's it's new to them. And if you've never been in that situation before, you don't really know what to expect. You might rise to the occasion, but normally you kind of, it just sometimes doesn't go your way. And when you're dealing with adversity, it's hard to come back from sometimes. But yeah, a little bit sad rugby league's finally over.
Same.
But it has to end eventually, right? It's been a long season. But yeah, congrats to Aussie and Tonga. I'm done with this game.
I was going to say real quick on the World Cup point. Watching Aussie play, I think with the team they selected, if it's close to that at the World Cup, it's more selected for Cleary at 7. Like a half who's actually going to dominate the ball rather than I felt like we didn't see Mitch get on the ball enough. So that's kind of what I looked at where with a lot of Aussies attack, if you have Dylan Edwards at fullback, he's not necessarily the creative type of fullback. He's more effort defensive. Yeah. Dearden, he's not creative. He's gonna run, and then you're gonna play off of that. Harry's can be creative, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's a top tier creator out of 9. But then that's not really the 9s we have at the moment. Anywhere in the league, there's nowhere. There's no one Appy is probably the best creator out of 9, but that's because he has to do that. It doesn't really feel like Harry Grant is doing that. It's more he's more defensive and take advantage of what he sees in front. So I think this Aussie team with Cleary at 7 would be a lot more threatening attack wise. That's just kind of the way I looked at it. Where I thought Aussie, granted, Nathan Cleary is one of the best players in the world, if not the best. But to see the way they played, it kind of made it more glaringly obvious, how far ahead he is, and then they kind of need him for that. If they're going to pick, to me, a much more solid but a much more defensive-minded team. They've still got Turbo, who's can be a game breaker when it's required. Hamler's got the speed to be it, so they've still got those things. But yeah, I think a lot of the creativity has to come from their 7, which Moses isn't quite that yet, when you probably hope he would be. But that's kind of what I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I back it as well.
It's a great take.
And Tonga, the Tonga 9 situation is...
Yeah, it's abysmal.
Because I thought about 6, right? Knowing they've got Latu, but then it's also come the next World Cup, I just don't know he's going to get the reps to be that 6 when Jerome and Galvin are going to be at the Tigers. And then my only other thinking was, could Staggs be the 6? Because wasn't that the whole thing the last time he had a contract, was that he wanted to potentially play some 6 for Broncos?
Yeah, I think there was talk about that. I think he might
He just never got the opportunity because he became like one of the better centers.
Yeah, he's definitely up there in Centerville.
So it's kind of, could he be
gonna
the
be
6 for
interesting.
Tonga? But I think that would revolve around Katoa becoming like a way better 7 in terms of being able to control the whole game.
Yeah, another good year at the Dolphins should see him right. You know, I mean, there's him and Hammer, Herbie. There's no real other standout sort of leaders that can take that playmaking away from him on that side. So he's kind of got the free reign to just keep growing, keep becoming a better player. So it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary because we don't have that. We've got Nikorima.
Man, we've got Hughes.
We've got Timoko.
Yeah,
the list goes on of failed players that we continue to employ.
The only other thing I'd say about Tonga is Wolf might be gone.
Yeah, there's talks about that.
Because I know leading into this might have been Wolf's last time with Tonga. So if he goes, that could be massive in terms of who replaces him.
Yeah, who would replace him? Do we have candidates? Not yet.
Not a clue.
Well, I guess they got to wait until New South fill their positions.
Yeah, well, if you read everything from Tonga, they want a Tongan coach to replace him. I don't know.
Look how that's going for the Kiwis.
No.
Yeah,
look how that's going for the Kiwis.
Here's my thing: if they get a Tongan coach,
don't do that.
Do they think half that team's showing up?
Yeah, like I get it. You want to keep it, within your people. You want to, support your people to grow and be better. But look what happened with the Kiwis. We had an Australian coach last year. We have a Kiwi coach this year. Stark difference.
I mean, to be fair, I think the relevance you take from is you look at rugby. How much of the world had to go get a Kiwi coach to become decent?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
there's not many top tier coaches in Union that aren't from here.
Or if their head coach isn't, bro, look at those assistant coaches.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Kiwis on those assistant coaches, but yeah, I think that's going to be a massive thing for the next World Cup. Is who's their coach? Because Wolf's now taking over full time with the Dolphins, so jeez, that's going to be a tough one. With no candidates, I guess. Should we move over to the Kiwis game?
Yeah, look, Kiwis in a thrilling victory versus PNG. It was a tale of two halves, some would say. The first half being somewhat incumbent from the Kiwis. It took a little while before they sort of shook to life. Unfortunately for PNG fans, they had hope. They sounded like Morgan Freeman at the end of, what's that movie? The one he's in jail. Shawshank Redemption. He had hoped. Well, the PNG fans had hoped that the Kiwis would suck. They had hoped that this was the Kiwis versus Tonga. That the PNG team could come back and beat us. But unfortunately, there were a few players that had something to say about that. And look, the first half, not a fan. Not a fan. There were a lot of errors. They let tries in. They should have not let any tries in. It should have been 54-0, not 54-12. But like we said earlier, I don't know if it was on the show or off the show, but Casey McLean with a 4P on debut. Spectacular. He even set Chansical Klokstad up for his try to end out the first half, which was what kind of, I think, helped save that first half from being totally abysmal. Because, up until that point, it wasn't really looking too promising. PNG had 2 tries overturned because they dropped the ball, or they just straight up just flew over the top of the bastard. Didn't even want a bar of it. So had they been able to clean that up, different story, right? Different story. Then the second half was just all Kiwis. This is kind of the performance you'd want to see from them versus, I hate to say it like this, but a nation like PNG, they're just not quite there, eh? They're a team that kind of just show up. They're there to fill the numbers, When you go to a tournament, that school that comes just for the numbers, just to get the kids out of the school for the day. That's PNG. They're not, they're not heavy hitters. They're not Keeper Park High School. They're more like Bayfield High from Dunedin, going up to play all the schools in Auckland. Bayfield ain't there for it. They just there to, participation award, whānau. That's PNG. So keep coming, get better. Jack the Ballon on your fella's team. Hopefully he pulls over some other PNGs and they don't keep defecting to Australia like Xavier, but have faith. Have faith in your people, have faith in your players. You'll get there. All in all, Stacey, you're lucky. You're lucky the boys decided to play for Sean Johnson. You're lucky you got Casey McLean. You're lucky you got Jermaine Isako. You're lucky. Because your ass be sacked. If I was head of New Zealand Rugby League, your ass be sacked anyway. I'd throw all the money we couldn't get at Mal Meninga. I want him. And then get him to influence the NRL to give us more international games. But yeah, Kiwis, look, fuck, he's got a lot of mahi to do. Get better, get good. GG's in the chat. Couple of work-ons, I think, is just, work on staying healthy. Age your own. Brandon, the rest of you, stay healthy. Nelson, fuck. Stay below the head. Ribs, cuz. Ribs. We needed you. Overall, though, decent performance. Could have done better. We've got a year to get another lot of, 3 games under the belt. Another year for 3 more games. Do we go to England? Surely send us to England next.
No, Aussie goes next year.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's bullshit. We need development. So what? We just play Tonga and Samoa.
Yep.
It's rigged because in the next year's a fucking World Cup.
So I'd imagine we'd probably be over to England after that.
Well, after the World Cup.
Yeah.
By then, no one's ever going to remember who we are.
Nah.
We need to be playing at Las Vegas.
Yeah, we
Kiwis
need a
versus
lot more
England.
games. We need more
They
games,
need to have a
man.
tourney over in America. That's what they need to do. Take all the teams, have a mini tournament over in America. Play America and Canada. Watch them get schmucked. That'd be 100-0. Especially if they play the Aussie woman. Bro, I reckon that Australian women's team could probably get the record for the most points scored in a rugby league game ever. All they need is Jamie Chapman and Olivia Koenig added to their team.
Did they not break the record against you?
What did they put on PNG? 84?
Yeah, was that not the
Nah, but
record?
male and female.
Oh, the overall record.
Yeah. I'm not just talking about women, man. I reckon they could break the overall highest score in a rugby league game.
I mean,
What is it?
Surprise me.
Who knows?
Didn't we smoke a team out of World Cup one year? Actually, when I say smoke, I was thinking 60, 70. But yeah, nah. I can jump in real quickly because what did I say in our pre-chat? Did I say if they don't win by 40? Did I say that? And how much did they win by?
You
Or did I say by 50? So they're
I think it was
trash
50.
as well.
Oh, yeah, 50.
Yeah, they didn't win by 50.
Yeah, and I said I don't know if
Hopeless.
we could score 50 or 40.
Yeah. I was the same as Sam. I had no idea we'll be scoring.
I knew we'd be scoring.
Can I
I
ask
was
one
just-
question before you get into your thing?
Yeah.
Do you think if Willie Warbrick was there, he scores 10?
Yeah, well, if that's who
McLean
Casey
can
come
score
on
4,
for.
Yeah, if he can score 4, surely Willie can score more.
I don't know, you know? Will, like when Will was there, we just never went there, so maybe it's a sucker that gets a whole heap. Because we look over there, we see Will, and we're like, you've had enough winning with the Storm. We're going away.
Well,
We're going
Saka
away from
got
you.
He got a 3-piece himself.
Yeah,
And then McLean gets the ultimate quarterback.
I'm just saying because the last 2 games are like we never attacked down the left edge. Sean swung that way maybe 3 times total. So to see Sean all the way on the other side, like I was kind of like, oh, well, this would have been sick if we had Warbrick there because like at least we would have seen him be able to have a bit more of an impact against Tonga, against Aussie. Like in the limited chances Warbrick got, I felt like he was pretty good. So yeah, so to not have him there and then Casey who scores 4 there, the whole thing is I don't know if Warbrick said do we go there because we haven't this whole time. It's kind of.
No, I kind of thought we'd have
about it.
a lot more opportunity just because it's PNG. So like things that we couldn't do the first 2 weeks, I was like, well, surely we'll be able to do it against PNG. I mean, again, I didn't actually watch much of the game, so I'd assumed Chance had actually half decent game and got the ball a bit more times and got to run and actually be a half, just because of who we were playing. But yeah, Tony won by, how much did they win by? 42 points. So there were 8 off the benchmark that I set them. I think I had us scoring more than 50. I just was hoping we'll be able to keep PNG to 1 try, if not 2 tries. But yeah, I mean, they won.
PNG straight butchered too, so.
Oh, so there you go then. There you go. Yeah, look, I don't know with these Kiwis, man. We'll just put it down. I'm going to put it down to just a bad run of injuries. I mean, you could almost name another team out of the ones who didn't play in this comp. And I wonder how close they would get to beating the team that did play.
No, they would have pumped them.
Who would
Just
be
go
in that
Manu,
team?
Man. Come back.
Do we name it?
It wouldn't take us long to name it, would it? Yeah, Millie,
Yeah,
like,
well,
bloody hell. I
well,
mean,
but we won't have a kicker.
Huh?
We won't have a kicker.
They might not need a kicker.
Yeah, that might be the.
I mean, if they're only going to beat the Kiwi team that played.
But you still need someone to try and convert because, well, we ain't got a kicker.
Who we got?
Who do we got? Who's that fullback?
Well, what are we saying about Joey?
No, he's not a league player. He's union.
Hughes, Brown. Did we have a few more? Oh,
We got foreign.
I don't even know if foreign makes the team.
Well, who else you got?
I've got Brandon
Foreign be
Smith
your
at
14.
9. Oh no, Jeremy Marshall King can be 14.
Yeah.
Marshall King.
Yeah.
Hughes and
You
Brown.
got Nelson, you got Leota. Who's our wing? Muritalo and Pompey in that centre. He can kick.
Does Pompey get the Val Holmes and the thing? Oh, Val Holmes and everything. He's gone. He's
gone to the Super League, but he could still play.
Oh yeah, Super League. That counts.
He can't play.
The wing.
Jordan.
He's also injured.
Yeah, but he's
But you want
to
to say
all season?
Who can kick?
He's been average all season.
Oh,
he's been worse than sorry.
Well, who's our other winger?
Who we got?
We got Mulitalo's one wing.
Yeah.
We just who else is eligible?
Rapana.
Nah, not him. Too old. Get run over.
Oh no, fuck! Well, he went that way, so it's got to be someone, right?
Who else we got? We got just thinking through all the teams. What do we got?
We say Nelson, Leota. Oh, yeah,
Nah,
DWZ,
Dallin
welcome
went
back.
the other way.
Oh, yeah, he went to Tonga. He did go to Tonga.
Yeah, Tonga didn't like him. They gave him. They
How
gave
did he
him the
not make the
scene
Tongan team?
because they
Rough.
don't like him. He got
That
seen.
is rough. Nelson, Leota. Who's our second? Oh,
Second row is
Nikora.
Marata. He was in the main team.
No, Britain.
Nikora.
Oh, yeah, that's
Nikora.
Nikora, not Niokura.
Ah, same.
They're two different people. Nikora and who was that other one? That other Kazi? Oh, fuck. Willison maybe on the bench?
Who's the other edge? Nelson is the other edge.
Nelson might have to play edge.
So who's in the forwards?
Well, we know
Leota.
Leota's there. That's about the only thing where we were almost full strength.
Fires Brandon
Pretty much.
13. Brandon might
Yeah,
have to
who's
be
the 9?
13.
Jeremy
Yeah.
9. And then who's our 14?
What
Might
up,
have to be
foreign? You do make the team.
Foreign. You're
Yeah,
back.
okay. So what does Willison now
Jared
make the?
Jared's in the middle.
Oh, yeah, Jared's back. Jared,
Yeah, so then
welcome.
you got to put in
Jared.
Willison.
Well,
You ain't got no one else on the bench.
Hargraves. We're
Yeah,
just
Xavier
lacking.
Willison.
We're
But
just
I
lacking
just
some.
don't watch the Warriors, so I don't know who they have.
Yeah, chuck in Willison.
Yep, Willison's there. We're just missing some centers and a fullback, really.
Oh,
Oh,
Seb Chris,
fuck,
brother, you
Seb.
might get the call up.
Seb Chris.
Yeah.
Welcome
Who else
to the
we got?
team.
Hold on. No. We could do something better there. We could do something better there. Surely.
Who?
Let's
Petty,
think. Who's on
don't
your
pass
team?
the ball, Herbert.
Who?
What even
Yeah,
happened
but-
to that guy? I feel as though he just fell off a cliff.
He didn't pass the ball and got sent straight to the Super League.
Who was it?
Was that where he is?
The Titan Center, who against the Roosters had a 2-on-1 and said, "Fuck, this is my moment for glory."
Jane.
and they
Corey
lost on it because he
Thompson,
didn't
yeah.
pass the ball.
Who else is a centre?
I feel like there's a center that's like
Deep in the.
Edel.
In the... Oh,
Kale,
yeah.
welcome.
Wasn't he available though?
He's injured, isn't he?
No, I think he was injured, yeah. Feels like half the team's bloody injured.
Yeah.
Let's check.
Yeah, look, that's a half decent team. They'll give this team a run for its money.
Let's check.
Jeremy Marshall King,
Rugby.
you are going to 9. Smith, you are going to 13. Nelson's on an edge, right?
Yeah.
Nelson's on one edge. And then Britain the quarters on the other. We just need someone to partner up with. Oh, no, you see Leota and James Fisher. Oh, James. Oh, fucking Jared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, G, I need Pompey, not Seb Chris.
You need
I'd rather
Pompey?
Well,
Pompey,
we
man.
have both of them currently.
Pompey.
Now we got Edo and
Oh, Edo.
Pompey and Edo?
G.
No.
Yeah.
Well, we've got Rapana on the wing for kicking.
Yeah, but I'd rather Pompey, G, over Chris.
You know what?
If he
I
wasn't
would
injured,
rather
he
less
had a pretty
Warriors.
decent season this year.
I'd rather
He
less
had a
Warriors
decent
players.
season.
Well, listen. So what are we needing? Just a
Couple
winger.
more bench players.
Let's see. Who
Who's
do
our
we
fullback?
have?
We don't have one yet.
Yeah, that's one area.
Mm.
Pompey,
Oh, Junior
Edo.
Tupou. Welcome, brother. You're eligible for us. Jesus. Looking at these names for who's available is
Well, I feel as though this team would give the current team a
Bro,
run for its money.
Rapana is our fullback. Reps has to be our fullback. Like, looking at who's available here on zero tackle.
So
Is it already in the
Rapana,
team?
not bad.
Not great, but not bad.
Can you read it 1 through 13?
Yeah, real quickly. Rapana. Oh, this isn't in order. It's just like Mulitalo. Then Pompey. Hughes, Brown,
Did you not put Iro in there?
Iro, and who was the other winger?
We didn't have one yet. Was Rapana question mark?
Oh yeah. So 1, 5,
But nah, he's our fullback.
and then
Fucking
Leota,
Roger abandoned us.
Jared Wawerea Hardgraves, Jeremy Marshall King, Britton Nikora, and then Nelson was the other one, and then Brandon Smith at 13, Foreign at 14, Willison. So we just need 2 more.
Oh, the other McLean brother.
Oh yeah, the other McLean brother.
Jesse.
He is the winger.
Yeah.
Because he won't pass at centre.
Well, he's the winger anyway.
His brother's a winger too now.
His brother should have never been a centre.
They're both wingers.
Yeah, their team's all good. Who cares about the last 2 forward spots off the bench?
Waterman Greg.
Widemu Greg, yep, welcome.
And one
Junior
final
Polo.
spot. One final spot. Kenny! Welcome back, brother! Kenny Bromwich!
No, fuck that. What about
Hell
Stefano?
yeah! Huh?
Stefano.
Okay.
Nah.
He doesn't play for Australia.
He's played for New South.
So? They
Can
backflip
he play
before?
for us?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think he can.
Kiwi born?
Yeah.
Yeah, Auckland, I think.
Oh, true.
Yeah. He's one of the few players that had
He's
eligibility
one
for
of
all 4.
us.
Oh.
He could play Tonga, Samoa, Aussie, or New
Interesting.
Zealand, but I don't think he can play New Zealand anymore.
Yeah. Do what,
Oh,
what's
they
his
can on
name?
this
Nathan
team.
Fiend did. Nathan Fiend played New South Wales or Queensland and then played for us.
Yeah, but that's back in the day.
I'm
Oh,
sure they ain't
God.
changed the rules since.
No.
Because that's why they're talking about Caelan Ponga. If he never played for Aussie Sevens, he would have been able to jump ship.
He should have just come and played for us.
He should have, little bitch. Nah, sorry, G, I take it back. If you hear this, my G.
Nah, stand on it.
Yeah, stand on it. Stand on
it.
Nah, brother.
You better
Come
stand
now,
on
my
it, man.
G. Come now, my G. Straight up there, yo.
Oh.
Come jam for the Kiwis out. Come jam for the
over
Maldives.
here.
Come on now. Come on the show, my yo.
Come on the show, eh? Yeah.
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 Come on the show, we need you. And bring your cousins too.
Yeah, not Jackson Hastings though. You leave him where he
Nah,
is.
keep him. But bring on Leo. Bring on Bradman. Bring on Fletcher Sharp. I want to talk to him now. He looks crack up. He looks dopey with a little mullet there. Bring on Dana, my Moldy. Bring on my Moldy.
Hey, man, bring on
My
KPP.
Moldy.
Bring on KPP, and then hopefully he will bring on Herbie.
Oh, yeah, see.
We can talk some shit about the
we just need to get
Broncos.
KP on the show, man. We just need to get KP on the show. Once we get KP on the show, we's good to go.
I feel like
Bush.
it would be way easier just to reach out to Herbie.
We just need that
Herbie,
one.
brother, come on.
We just need one, like, semi-decent star to just reply to our... Instagram's kind of fucked it up for us, though, because now you only get one DM. And if they don't see it, you're instantly blocked from messaging them anymore.
True.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can't cold DM.
It's probably
You
a
have to
good thing.
find out who their management is. Or you just pay them through Swish and get a shout-out and then try and, like, pitch in that shout-out. Like, gee, can you give the practice run a shout-out? But also, can you come on the practice run, my G?
We'll get there.
This is where we get
Work
the
on
McLean
for
brothers.
next year's.
We get the
We just
McLean
need-
brothers, and then they open up the Panthers.
We'd probably be better off getting Jet Cleary and then get him to give us his brother's number, and then go from there.
I feel like To'o might be easier to get.
Nah, G, because he'll be popular. Everyone will be messaging him, and he's got his own clothing brand with Jerome Luai. It's called Universe 7. So he'll be even harder to reach. That's why you got to go through Jet. He's like 19.
Yeah, I feel like Nathan's going to be like, no.
Yeah, all good.
Nathan's
like,
going to be like,
yo.
immediately no.
Can we get your dad's number, G? So after we interview Jet, then we go through his dad, and then we get all the players from his dad, because the coach said.
Yeah, G. Sit in that seat, Ivan. Sit
Yeah.
in that seat. I've got some questions for ya.
My question is,
I've got some questions for ya.
hey, before he starts, let me ask you, why did you leave the Warriors? Did they kick you out? Because I want you to publicly say, shame Warriors, this is what you could have had. 4 rings. The last time they made a grand final was under Ivan Cleary. Where are they now? Where are they now? Ko wai tō pāpā. That's a good one, eh? Just bust that out, eh? Next time you just cooking someone, G, on Fortnite. Ko wai tō pāpā. If we ever get Māori anime, that better be a phrase in there. We should get that on the. We should get that on a
Māori
t-shirt.
anime would be unreal.
Bro, facts.
Well, you could do it, man.
Like a Māori league, like they play sports or some shit. Go to the dairy, rob it out, and then just fucking have horror fights. Then you got one kid, like.
Is that your pitch, is it?
Yeah, G. Hear me. Both his parents are locked up now.
Of course, his
I
name
feel
has
as though,
to be
yeah,
Hemi.
it can't be any other name. It can't be any other name, right? Like, it can't be. If it is, I don't want
the
it.
Villain, G.
I don't want it. Hemi's the villain.
Yeah, Hemi's the villain.
Oh.
Let's move on, man. I'm not here for
No,
this.
I like this. We're
No.
here now.
Hemi, he matua kore.
Oh. Yeah, the Māori anime. I like it.
Oh, man. The whānau at home who aren't from Aotearoa, this is over their head. They're just hearing us cracking up. But yeah, look, hey, if you want to insult someone when you come here, just tell them, mātua kore. Okay, back on track. Where were we going after that?
Reviews.
Season reviews? Yeah. Season reviews. All right. Manly Seagulls. Let's go. Sam, me, 2.
Where are we? Surprise for the Seagulls. I don't really. Is it Luke Brooks? I don't know. Like, I don't really have a surprise for the Seagulls. Like, their season kind of went as I expected. Like, I do quite like the Seagulls. I watch them a lot because I'm a massive Turbo fan. So, you know, it's one thing I always kind of keep on the back because you guys are always like, oh, who's a Manly fan? I'm like, I will
say that.
I'm like,
I
will literally watch a game for Turbo. Like, I'll watch it just for him. And yeah, they've got Tommy Talau now, so like that also helps. Because I was a big fan of his at the Tigers. Gutted he left. The surprise is probably Luke Brooks actually looking semi-functional. But it's also he just didn't have to do everything, so I guess it shouldn't be a surprise when you simplify his role. He looks a bit better. Other than that, yeah, I don't really have a surprise. The disappointment for the season, I may have placed a wager for them to make the final.
The Seagulls
Yeah.
already.
What do you mean? No, for last season.
Oh, Rogie.
Yeah. Like, I ride handies for Turbo. So, you know, like, I'm still a believer when he is fit and healthy, he is probably the most influential player to a team. Like, Cleary at the Panthers, yeah, you could say, but I think their team's so loaded and kind of has the like it doesn't all just revolve around Cleary. So yeah, I kind of look at Turbo like that. So yeah, my disappointment is probably them not making the finals because I did bet on it. Other than that, probably their lack of younger players coming through. Like their age is kind of so their roster's kind of aging out, so they need to get a few more young guys in there. I think that's probably a bit more of a disappointment. And then needs for next season. What I talked about in the preseason show. Oh, what I talked about pre-show. They've got to figure out how they get Turbo to the centers and Lehigh to fullback. When he first came through and they put him on the wing and they're like, oh, his best position is fullback. I thought he was too small to play fullback. Like he's tall, but he's quite like slim. But after watching him at the international level and him just being just such a good defensive fullback, and like what he probably saved a few tries on Sunday, and then when the first time they played Aussie, he saved like 3 or 4 tries there. So I think they've got the makings of a really good fullback there who's super young. So I think they've got to find a way to get him to fullback and Turbo into the centers, which is kind of tough because where Turbo plays best is Garrick's center spot. They need to keep Garrick, so I don't know if they could move Garrick to the other center, or if they just try to say, I don't think it works. I don't think it works if they move Garrick to the. So they put Turbo on the other center because Turbo's best feature, right, is that he's like can kind of swing around and play both sides. They're already dangerous on their right side. Their left side kind of has like no real threat to it. So they kind of need a center there who can like do some things, and then Turbo just kind of swings on that side to bring a bit more attack down that edge. Their other need, they need to find another second rower who's replacing Lawton, because Lawton left, and I thought he was actually really good at times last year. He had a nice little combo with Luke Brooks. So I think that's what their needs are for next season. One key highlight, Turbo with the hat trick against the Tigers, but the Tigers won. That was my highlight. Or Paseka, just a big dog in the Bulldogs. That might be the other one.
That was a good time.
But yeah, overall grade, B plus. I don't quite think it was an A, like an A season. So yeah, probably a B plus.
B plus.
Yeah, I felt like at times they looked really good, and then at times they looked kind of average. But that also coincided with Turbo being injured when they looked average. So yeah, that's kind of what I've got for them. What do you guys got?
Yeah, okay. Here's my list. Surprises. Nah, I think that's a letdown. I think I'm surprised by where they ended up. I thought they were kind of like a middle of the road team. I didn't quite think they were finals worthy, like top 8. I didn't think they were going to get there. Especially after watching them draw with the Warriors, who I thought were kind of, on the upper end of things, and they got a draw. They had, rough patches throughout the season, I thought, but hey, they won enough games to get them on the other side. And they did have a lot of injuries, Turbo tried to give some of his salary back, and they said no. So I guess that's a surprise as well. Letdowns would definitely be Luke Brooks from round 2 onwards. We gave him his flowers way too early. We said, hey, maybe it was the Tigers. And then after round 3, we were like, nah, it wasn't the Tigers. He's not even, like we were saying, maybe he's not the Batman, he's not the Robin, he like the Alfred. Yeah, well, hey, look, man, he like just that random criminal that keeps getting caught and put in prison. He just, let down. Needs for season. I'm on the same bandwagon as Sam there. They need to figure out what they're doing with Lehigh, and they need to figure it out soon. Whether it's move Turbo to the centres and Lehigh plays fullback, or you just got to let him go. He's too good to be wasted on the wing for another year. You got to find something for him. My one key highlight, probably just seeing Daly Cherry Evans still, at his age. I think, what's he, like 43? Still out there playing. It's pretty good. I think he debuted, 96? So, yeah, see him still doing what he can do. Ball in hand, his kicking ability, his, field vision, his IQ is just, it's still elite for a koro. So, ka pai giraffe. Grade. Because I thought they were going to do so poorly, I think I might have to give them like an A-.
Is that it?
Yeah, bro.
Alrighty, I'll keep this one short and sweet, eh? Surprise. Yeah, I went with Luke Brooks. London Zazawa, first 2 weeks looked great, and then he kind of slipped off, but he still did better than what I thought he was going to do. The other surprise would have been Lehi or Hopewadi for me. Disappointment. I put Jake Travojevic. I don't know whether... I know he was captain for New South Wales for all of like 20 minutes. But wasn't really a vintage season, but I think it's just because he's getting up there in age. Needs... similar vibes. I went with not necessarily the Hopewadi, the fullback one. Just need to get a little bit younger. I mean, they've announced the signing of Tokeaho coming on. I thought he was going to come to us, but again, they just seem to sign these old props who might be a little bit past their prime. I don't know I'm assuming if he's good enough, he'll make their 17. But I don't know, because I'm not too sure what's happening with Nathan Brown and Matt Lodge, whether those two are still on their books or not. So you add, Siwa Tokeaho into that mix there. You've got 3 old. But although Matt Lodge is the youngest out of those 3, right? Isn't he still like?
I think
is
so.
he 30?
I think Lodge is gone.
Oh, he's gone?
Like he hasn't signed with anyone, but he's not going back there.
Oh. I thought they were going to do what they've done the last couple of seasons, give him the old train and trial, then sign him to the top 30 after like a certain date. But yeah, and then the key highlights, unfortunately, is that what?
Matt Lodge is 29.
Yeah, I didn't think he was 30.
Holy!
What did you thought he was?
Because I've heard that name for so long.
Oh, you thought he was older?
Oh yeah, I thought he was way older.
Oh, I knew he wasn't. He also just looks old because of his balding head.
Yeah, look, life ain't been good to him.
Yeah.
Life ain't been good to him.
Well, I mean, he ain't been.
He
good
looked like
as
a kiwi
right?
fruit. His hair looked like a kiwi fruit.
Then my highlight was the Kohler try against my Bulldogs that broke our hearts.
Oh yeah,
you prick. Whatever. And then my overall grade for the team was I gave them the A-. I thought they were thereabouts, like they kind of finished where I thought they would, like good enough to make it through the first round of the playoffs. I don't think I ever had them pushing, maybe at best What's the game before the final? The prelim final? Yeah, so they almost got there. They almost got there. But yeah, overall, solid season. DCE, I don't know how he does it. He's just class. Luke Brooks look half decent sometimes and half decent not. Yeah, I think they need a... I mean, their forward pack had one really good game, and it was against my Bulldogs.
Mm.
Other than that, they were kind of a bit underwhelming, so I think they need to improve that, get a little bit younger, hopefully, in the forwards. But yeah, man, that's all I got on the Seagulls. What's the next team? Is it me?
Yeah, brother. So you're leading us out on the Newcastle Knights. So it goes you, Sam, me.
The Knights. Boo. Look, what do I ever got to say about the Knights? Surprise?
Plenty.
Yeah, let's start here. Surprised that all their halves were shit. Jack Cogger.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be good. It looked like him and Hastings would be a half decent pairing. And we know that Gamble won that battle at the start. So what was it? Hastings and Gamble. I think we were on his podcast for about a month straight saying, get Jack Cogger in there. He finally did. And they looked good for about 2 games. And then I don't know what happened to Jackson Hastings. No, he just does what Jackson Hastings does. Of the 20-ish games he plays, he's good for like 3 of them. Average for most of them, and they're just really bad for like a couple of them. So he gives you hints of what could be and like the potential he did have. And then the rest are just like, oh, what could have been? I mean, I think he might have run his course now. I think they're looking to offload him. So Jackson Hastings has always had the potential, but you know, it's all about consistency in this league, and consistently, he's just been a bit. I mean, the story of this team has always been Caelan Ponga. I know you talked about Turbo's influence on the team, but Caelan Ponga might have just as much influence on one team as what Turbo does, because you take Ponga off the Knights and they might be running with your Tigers for that wooden spoon. Put him on, and all of a sudden they're running top 8. It's ridiculous what that man does. I know he gets paid. Is he the highest paid in the league? He has to be, right?
Who?
Caelan Ponga.
No.
It's Reese.
Is it Reese now? Because of the new deal?
I think it was...
I'm pretty sure it was Val last season.
Was it Val?
Yeah, because he signed that massive contract.
Idiots.
The back end. That's why they had to move him for next year.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, I mean,
but they're still taking some of that paycheck though, eh?
No, they're not.
What?
Huh? Yeah, because it was a release.
Oh, okay.
But can the Broncos let Ezra go?
What? It's the dumbest thing that he's on 800 and your club said, nah, we're keeping him.
Bruh.
As if you weren't going to be able to re-sign him for 500, 550.
Interesting.
But anyway, back to the Knights.
KP. What else do I remember from the season? Oh, yes, the great Greg Marju, with his always dropping the ball on the runbacks. I'm telling teams, you kick it to Marju all day, every day, because out of 10 of them, he's dropping like 3 of them. And out of the other 7, he's probably going to muck it up somewhere of like 2 of them. So I always feel as though it's 50-50 with him. So, yeah. And then the surprises from them, I mean, other than the house being shit, I thought, the English dude, Kai Paul, how do you say his name?
Pierce Paul.
Pierce Paul. I was about to say Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce. Yeah, I always call him Paul Pierce.
Get up 34.
He looked good. So he looked like he belonged in the NRL, which is a big thing for those Englishmen coming over. So I thought he was solid. Disappointments. I don't know, their halves, really. I thought Gagai was good, Bradman Best was good. What are their needs? Their halves. I don't know what they do. I mean, there was talk about Ben Hunt, right? Do they go after him? Dude, maybe they just need to change this coach, because I feel as though, what's his name? Adam O'Brien?
Yep.
How long he been there for now? I feel as though if KP wasn't there, he would have been gone a long time ago. Maybe they need to bring someone else in. I don't know. Just putting it out there. But then if you take him out, is there another coach that's there? So it's one of those. Yeah. But I mean, if you're not getting any better, right, and kind of staying the same, do you make the call to either go in a new direction, bring someone in, see if you can get better? You might get worse, but is it a gamble you're willing to take? Key highlights. What are the key highlights? Probably watching, like, easy answer, but probably watching Caelan Ponga. I mean, I'd watch that dude sometimes drag them to victory, and I just don't know how. Like, that dude's back must be hurting. And he almost did it again in that game against Cowboys. He almost won it for them, but he ended up losing it for them. You know what I mean? You live on the edge with Ponga, right? He can win you a game. Unfortunately, with that one, as good as he was, which he passed the wrong way, right? He passed out when all he had to do was pass in. It was the one that Gay Guy dropped.
Gay Guy just shelled it.
Yeah, nah, that wasn't Gay.
That
was a bad pass though. But it was like, yeah, that was the moment, man, because it pretty much swung momentum. It was like the bang bang play in basketball where something doesn't go your way and then it goes the other way for the other team. Momentum shifts. Overall, what is my grade for them? I mean, I would give Caelan Ponga an A++ for the sore back, but the whole team in general, I mean, I can't give them lower than like a B+. They still made the top 8, so at worst a B+ for making the 8. Still a lot they need to do, but yeah. I mean, Saifidi's gone. They've got salary cap issues. That's probably their biggest need, actually. Sort that whole situation out, because I don't know what you're doing. No one knows what you're doing. Jackson Hastings on 800k up to, like, you let go of what? One of the Saifidi brothers, because and now Leo Thompson. Just let him go, bro. You don't even need him. We'll take him. Again, sort your shit out. But yeah, that's about all I got for the Knights. I'll pass it on now. Whoever was next. I think it was you, Sam.
Yeah, my surprise for the Knights, you kind of stepped on it, was that O'Brien's still there. Every year he's been there, I think apart from the first year maybe. Come maybe 4 or 5 weeks into the season, he's on the hot seat. If they don't turn things around, he's gone. Last year it was that massive run they had at the end of the season that saved his job. This year, same position, right? They still kind of had to go on a big tear at the end of the season just to make the 8. Like, I feel like teams who make that massive run at the back end of the season never tend to get there. Like, they kind of need, like, outside of really the Roosters were the ones who did it, but they had so much talent across the board that they were kind of like afforded that possibility where, like, not all of their players had to have a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 game every week, whereas like the Knights, yeah, man, if KP ain't got it, then they ain't winning. So Adam O'Brien still being there is the probably biggest surprise for me. But it's also, like you said, right? If they fire him, they have to replace him, and there's not a ton of great coaches walking around at the moment. So it's more who comes in if they do. Disappointments. To me, it felt like a lot of their key players they needed regressed. Like, I didn't watch a ton of the Knights this year, but when I did, Gay Guy was never good. When I did, Frizzell wasn't very good. Like, he had moments, but I wouldn't say he had, like, consistent games where he was good. Brayley, to me, wasn't good at times when I watched. The halves were... The best game I watched them play, I genuinely think was Will Price's first game where he ripped it up. I was like, they might have got one there, and then he stunk it up the next game. So, yeah, like they've got to figure out what they're gonna do because like as you said, their salary cap is a mess. Their needs for next year. I think they have to blow it up. I think, like, I know you've got KP there, right, and he wins you a ton of things. But with the salary cap KP's on and the coach you have, I just don't know if they're ever going to be able to actually build a team around KP. Like, I think it might be easier to let KP go. And but if you're letting him go, right, like you're not just letting him walk out. Like you're saying, if we're gonna let KP go, we want say like 3 or 4 of your really good young players because you're getting a guy who could potentially win you a premiership. Like KP when he's on and he has to do some of those things can get you there. Yeah, needs for next. Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think they just have to blow it up. Like their salary cap is shot where Gay guy's there for another 2 years, I think it was, and he signed that extension last year. It was 3 years. He's there for a while, and he's on a decent wage. They talked about he might have to go. Frizzell might have to go. Frizzell, like if it was like a year or 2 years ago, yeah, you might be able to get someone to take Frizzell for all his money. Right now, I don't think there's a chance anyone does it. Like they've got a lot of players who just like are kind of overpaid for what they're going to dish up on a weekly basis at the moment. Like when they signed the contracts, they were definitely worth it. But yeah, the regression of some of these older players is gonna hurt them. One key highlight, probably the referee's performance in that Dolphins game, where they just said, "Nah, Dolphins, you guys aren't getting no love." Or yeah, it's probably that Cowboys game where the Cowboys decided, no, we're just not tackling people. And then KP threw the intercept to cough out. That was a great highlight for me. Overall grade, they're a tough one for me to grade because like I don't watch them a lot, and when I do, I feel like I'm just regularly let down by them. But they also made the 8, and I didn't think they were going to get there again because I couldn't believe they made it last year. Probably an A minus maybe. They're an underwhelming team that just overachieves. And it's not like a fun overachieving team to me. No, not B plus. B plus. What are your thoughts, Ra?
Yeah, look, I quite like the Knights. I watched a few of their games this season. I quite enjoyed them. Their surprises for me was Fletcher Sharp. You know, what do you call that? It's not the debut, but the just his presence out there on the field, whether he's playing fullback or whether he's on the wing, he gives it 120%, and I just liked everything that he offers the Knights. And you know, you guys talked a lot about the salary cap. If they had to move KP, at least they've got, you know, Fletcher Sharp, who's not KP, but you're not going to lose out on, you know, having a real dud at fullback because there's teams out there with some big duds at fullback. So Fletcher Sharp was a big surprise for me. Letdowns this season, yeah, it's got to be that halves pairing. Had they sorted out their halves, they could have gone, not all the way, but they could have, you know, gone on throughout the season and, yeah, been a little bit more threatening than what they were. So, yeah, definitely the biggest letdown was their halves and their salary cap. Needs for next season, like you guys say, is clear out that salary cap, figure it out so that way you can field a team and not have any discrepancies, not miss out on the 8 because you've breached salary cap and now you can't even compete, so now you're just playing for lols. So figure that out. Highlights, man, anytime you watch Fletcher Sharp or Bradman Best just open space, man, that's a highlight in itself. Another highlight that's not really a highlight, it's a low light, is every time KP likes to set up his shape on that left-hand side, whether it's short or they got a bit of space out there. The hooker gets it to the half. The half looks to the left, passes it out to the right-hand side, and they push it on the wrong side. So many missed opportunities. Knights could have won a lot more games had they gone down that left edge when KP sets up. Because He can either run it, kick it, or pass it into space. He's got that playmaker ability. He is on the wrong team. He needs to be in a team that can identify his skills and his weaknesses and build that team around it. This Knights team is built, I don't even know how they've built it. They're just kind of throwing shit together, throwing everyone some money, promised them the world, and now they've got, what do you call that? Like a throw together. And they're kind of just saying, hey, if we can pull off a win, we can pull off a win here. I'd like to give them an A, but I think I'm with you, Sam. It's got to be like a B+. It's in the B range. Like, I'd like to give them an A. They deserve an A, but it's just the off-field bullshit. That's what I think with the club, not the players. This team, for the most part, is pretty good off-field. It's the frickin' front office that needs to be dealt to. They probably would have got an A, but the front office reduces that grade to a B+. Gotta love front offices.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, man.
He sets up on the left. The Rabbitohs go left a lot.
It's all you need, man. They don't have a fullback currently. They don't have a fullback. They've got a centre playing fullback. They don't have a fullback.
Insane.
Do they have salary cap, though?
Who's
They're
that?
looking at Brandon Smith, the Bunnies.
I would love to know where they plan on getting that from.
Yeah.
It's banking on to try to do some dumb shit next season, and they say, we've had enough, man.
I've had enough, and we're still holding on to our fool. So, look it up at the Sharks. The Sharks are the next team up. Look, my biggest surprise, and I think it's going to come to no surprise, is, let's reword this. Let's go. Kale Edel is my biggest surprise, but not really. Two talked about him being a good young fella at the start of the season. It took a little while before he got put into the starting side, but once he made his starting side debut, he never looked back. I had him in my fantasy team from day dot. I dropped a whole lot of other rookies that never got game time that ended up getting game time. I had Keanu Kinney for a bit, and then I dropped him because I needed someone to make minutes because I wasn't getting any bench minutes. He was the only one I held from day dot. It paid off, but a little too late. So, yeah, Kale Edel, he's my surprise. My biggest letdown, it's got to be Nico No-Show Hines. I don't know what happened to him, but ever since he got, he got shell-shocked at Origin in Game 1, and ever since then, he looked helpless, hopeless, and what's the word I'm looking for? Reserve grade-like, Super League-like. You know, that's what he was playing at. That was where his talent level looked like. So he picked it up in one game and then, just fell off. Even in the final series, he just, wasn't there. Wasn't good enough. So that was the biggest letdown. For a former Dally M medalist, do better. Needs for next season, Nico gone. Ooh, did I say that? Yeah, look, they got to move on from him. The Sharks were better when he wasn't on the field. The Sharks are a better team when Trindle takes the lead. So is it time for No-Show to move on? I think so. One key highlight. Far out. What game was that? When they put on that 50-odd points. Was it 50? It was up there. They put on a hell of a lot of points. It was that. I think it was that game where bloody Trindle did cocaine and failed a breath test or some shit. He was doing alcohol. They partied. Was it versus the Cowboys? I think it was at home. And then Trindle was on the piss after that game. Went through a breath stop and then failed. So he was on a 4-game suspension or some shit like that. That was my highlight, that game versus the Cowboys at Shark Park. Overall grade, Nico F. The Sharks, I don't know, B+, A-, somewhere between there.
Is it me? It's me, eh?
Yeah.
Look, to be fair, you pretty much said everything I was going to say, really. Surprise, yep, similar. Oh, Edel although I'd been on that bandwagon for a little bit. I just heard his name too many times, and I'd seen him a few times to know that he was decent. And when you hear about someone who just continuously carves a New South Wales Cup, you figured eventually they're going to get their shot, and it's just whether they can make the most of it. Well, he finally got a shot, and he made the most of it. Good enough to kick out old Talakai out of that centre spot and, push him to the bench. So you got to be pretty good to keep him out. So, that was a surprise letdown. Yeah, it's kind of nowhere around it, really. Poor Hines. I don't think they need to let him go, but definitely switch him to 6. Let Trindle call the shots. Just simplify his role and let him play eyes up footy or run the ball. Hopefully that'll work out. Or, there are talks about him going back to fullback, which, he was pretty good when he was there, right? It was a toss-up between him and Pep at one point at the Storm. He was running that good. And so, yeah. What we got? Needs. I don't know. It's a tough one. You got Adam Fanua-Blake coming over. Is it a fullback? Is Kennedy the answer at fullback? I don't know. I feel as though he's a first-grade player. But if you're looking to win a championship, could he be the fullback on a championship-winning team? I'm not too sure. Because their team's been similar the last few years, right? Like, their team's pretty solid. They're one of the few where you could almost name the 17 from the get-go. I think they're losing a few players, and the issue is they have a lot coming off contract at the same time, I think, is what their one is. And it's a lot of their forwards, so see how that plays an impact. Highlights for me would be them finally winning a playoff game. Was that against the Cowboys? They had gone 0-2 back-to-back years, and there was always the chat that they smoked everyone outside the 8 and couldn't beat anyone inside the 8. So to finally get that hoodoo off their back and to win a playoff game, congratulations to them. I can't remember what happened the game after. I think they got... Was it the Storm they played? Or was it Penrith? Oh, yeah, there you go. It actually wasn't that game. Yeah, they looked good against them, right?
Yeah, yes. There was a few calls that went against them, and
that's right.
Penrith just outgrinded them.
Yeah. See, that's what happens when you won one game. You get the confidence, and you probably play better than. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You talked about most of what I was going to talk about. Overall grade, I've got them as an A-. They pretty much finished where I predicted them to finish. They won a playoff games. Need to figure out the Nicholas Hines situation. Good player, I think. But yeah, man, that mental side of the game's so big, and it got to him, unfortunately. But I'll keep it at that.
Surprise? It's kind of boring at this point, but yeah, probably Ito. I was the same. I'd heard good things about him, but I've also heard good things about a lot of young players, and they don't really live up to it. So I was kind of more, I need to see it. And then when I saw it, I was like, bit of an idiot for doubting it for so long. So yeah, he was really good. Daniel Atkinson, he's good, man.
Oh yeah,
he's good. He's good. He's not a 7, but boy, is he good. So yeah, probably those two. Disappointments for me, it's Will Kennedy. Like, he was really good 3 seasons ago. Then 2 seasons ago. Then last season, I think he kind of hit a bit of a wall where, I thought he would continue to get better, but he didn't. And then this year, he's been a little bit injured. He's also just not been very good. So for me, it's more him, because I've never been particularly high on Nico. Like, in his Dally M run, I was like, oh yeah, cool. Like, he did play really well. He deserved it. The following year, I actually thought Nico was pretty poor at times, but he was still getting a lot of Dally M votes because they kind of had to go to someone and didn't really feel like it was an obvious choice on the Sharks to get the points. And then this year, like, I don't know, he continues to underwhelm me. Like, the mental side of it is, like it's really massive for him. There's some players it doesn't really affect, and then there's others who, like, you see it really takes them out. Like, there's him, there's Angus, there's a few other guys as well. But yeah, Will Kennedy's my disappointment. I felt like, if he could get back to the form he was in 2 seasons ago, then they were going to have a real good chance. But I thought a lot of it depended on him. Needs for next season. They need Will Kennedy to be good. I think they can get away with Nico being not great because he's still a good goal kicker. Like, if at worst his role there is to run the ball a bit and then just to kick goals, like, I think they can get away with it if Nico is good. They also need Brady to run out of dummy. They need him to run out of dummy so much more than what he does, because they're really good when he does, but when he doesn't, that's when the kind of pressure comes on the halves and on the fullback. So I think a bit more running out of fullback, out of dummy half, which getting Adam should help because he's going to get you over the advantage line a bit more than what they do get currently. And then one key highlight, probably everyone's starting to give Trindle some love. It's probably because been a big fan of Trindle. But now if I have to go one game or one moment, it's them winning in Melbourne, where Daniel Atkinson kicked the field goal. No Trindle, no Hines. It was Brady and Atkinson in the halves. That's probably my one key moment, because as we saw, like, with that playoff pod against the Cowboys, I wasn't all too surprised the Sharks won. The history says the Sharks win. But yeah, it's a little bit of that. Before I give my grade, though, for the season, I want to ask you guys a question. If you're that new team coming into the comp and the Sharks said, we'll give Nico to you, but you've got to pay a majority of the contract, at what point would you say no to Nico? Like, Nico's on $1 million now. Say they said, we'll pay $200K. You're the new team coming into the comp, so you can have Nico at $800K. Would you do it?
Yeah. You just need players.
Yeah.
And it's not like, who else is available?
That's the thing. It kind of just depends on when they come in. like without knowing, like, the classes, it's a bit tougher to do. But yeah, I kind of went through the exercise in the play as well. Like, I was just wondering, like, where would Nico be for me in terms of if I was a new franchise, I had a chance to sign him, would I do it? And then, like, the money side of it was where I was like, shit. I don't know if I can really get there on Nico. But yeah, I think it's also probably a bit more where that team's based. Like, if it's another Sydney team, he's gonna get hammered by the media. If it's a Queensland team, they might be a little bit more like he's a New South player. But also, Queensland doesn't really seem to hammer their team unless you're the Broncos. I also wondered, what would you guys think about Nico for the Warriors? They need
It's hard because I hardly ever see Australian players wanting to move over here. Like, it's just hard to fathom those kind of players at the Warriors. Like, I think he'd do all right there. It's just hard to fathom someone leaving Australia to go and play in Auckland.
Like, I thought about, like, where could Nico go where there wouldn't be a ton of pressure, there wouldn't be, like, the media just constantly ripping him when he plays poorly. And I was like, if he went to Aussie, if he went to, like, the Warriors, like, yeah, there's a little bit of pressure there to win because they haven't done it yet. But it's also not like he's. I feel like if he was a Kiwi-born player, there'd be a ton of pressure on him to win for the Warriors. Because they'd be like, "Oh, he's our guy. He's won a WM. Like, surely he can take us there next thing." But with it being Nico, I feel like he might actually be able to like really thrive over here. I was just kind of gauging like where you guys are on Nico, because I've never been super high on Nico. So now
He's a great player. He's a great player. He's a good advocate for men's mental health as well as Indigenous rights and things like that. Like, well-rounded person. He's a great player that you'd want to have on your team. Very marketable, very likable. It's just I don't know how to say it. He's just Hawai Tana Papa. I don't know, man. For me, if I'm signing him because of his off-field, what's it called? His off-field
like for
marketability.
the person he is.
Yep, I'm bringing him in because he'll bring decent culture to the club. You're never going to get off-field drama with him, and I think he is a good leader. He's someone that the young kids can aspire to be, and compared to some of the other Indigenous lads that we're seeing at the moment, he's someone that you really want to lean on to promote the image of Indigenous players in the league. You've never seen him in a scandal. You know what I mean? So he still has a lot of integrity, and for that alone, he still commands high money, in my opinion.
Yeah, I remember when he was moving out of Storm, I was hoping we would make a run at him. I was hoping he would be our fullback. But I swear him and Edo Carr kind of had a thing where they don't get along. Because I remember watching him at the Storm and he'll do something in Edo Carr's face. He'll like screw up his face like every time, like he did the wrong play every time. It used to be so funny to watch. And then watching him go to the Sharks and end up winning Dally M was just next level. So yeah, I feel as though he's a really good player. I mean, I'd have him. I think he'd be good for the Wars. And I feel as though he'll be well looked after over here. Whether he wants to come or not, that's always the question, right? But I feel as though those Aussies who do come over, I feel as though not often do they have a bad thing to say, other than like just missing home, Like other than wanting to go home on compassionate grounds because they want to be close to their family. You don't really... Well, do you hear anything bad about the Wars and like how they're looked after, treated? I feel as though you don't.
Never. They always have high things to say about it. It's just the fact that it's
it's just so far away.
It's a whole ocean away.
Yeah. So it's like, if he was to come over, like I feel as though Aotearoa would look after him. And,
doesn't Blake Ashford still live here?
Yeah, he played for the Bay of Plenty rugby league team.
Bro, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was it?
So it's
him
not
and some
horrible.
other random. Oh no, not random. But they played for because there's a Pep Bulldogs. That's like the team of one of the clubs. I'll name one of the clubs over here. And he was in the team, and I was like, "How the fuck is he? Like what?"
Yeah, because like someone just randomly, I think it was like a Whalers thing popped up.
Oh,
yeah. I just seen it out of nowhere. I was like, "Is that Ashford?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was him in a Bay of Plenty uniform. And I was like, that's the most random...
him and old Ben Madalino.
Benny Mutts.
Yeah, they played for the Pep Bulldogs. I was like, how the hell did you get them? And they ended up winning their grade. I don't think they played Prem grade. I think they might have played a grade below it. But whatever grade they were in, those two played in the final when they won it. I was like, what?
Yeah, so that's random, but like players like that, they still kind of stay here, so they must like it here.
Yeah.
Like Jacob Lillyman, what's that other one's name? Jeremy Lattimore always talks highly about New Zealand. I think Steve Price only recently moved away.
Well, he was over here for years, right? I mean, and
Yeah.
stayed here long
Yeah.
enough to be on Celebrity Treasure Island. So
Yeah, he like stayed here after he retired as a Warrior, and then moved back over to Australia for a little bit, but still comes back here often. Like he's made good friends, obviously in his neighborhood wherever he lives, probably somewhere gated in Albany or some shit. But
Damn.
what, the bro ain't gonna live in like Manurewa. He ain't staying in Riwahad. We know facts he ain't Riwahad.
I don't know. Maybe.
Nah, man, he's somewhere in northern Auckland.
Yeah.
Probably on Waiheke.
I'm an old Brandon Smith, eh?
Yeah.
But anyway, my overall grade for the Sharks, I thought they were going to stink this year. A+.
Hey, plus
really,
they still stunk.
you had them as a what? Not top 8 team. This is news to us.
Yeah. What the hell?
I have massive love for Trindle, massive love for Nikora. The Sharks just... I think it's very much because the Sharks only have like really one way to win. Like they can't win in multiple ways.
Yep, true.
Like you know, like there's like Melbourne who can like just out execute you. There's Melbourne who will grind you. Melbourne will also just smoke you. Like the Sharks kind of seem like that's their only real way to win is that they've got to score a lot of points to win. Well, that's just me. But yeah, I like going into this season. I didn't think the Sharks were going to be very good because I just didn't really think. I didn't think Trindle was going to get given the opportunity to actually run the thing. Yeah.
So you had them outside top 8.
I then like maybe make the 8, but more likely to miss.
Damn.
That's interesting.
See, at the very lowest, I had them at 9, but they like them landing at 9 for me was in like the 10% chance of happening. They were more a top 8 team than they were an outside the 8 team for me.
I think I always had them in my 8. I just had them whether they were top 4 or not. I think I had them like either 4th, at worst like 6th or 7th.
To be fair, though, I guarantee all of us only had 7 spaces left in the top 8 when the Broncos fucked out.
Yeah, well, I had the Broncos. Yeah, I had the Broncos there.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And then I kind of wish we won the wooden spoon just because of the way that season went. You know, one thing someone said to me one day is they're like, how can you make comments about the Broncos at least every episode? Without doubt, there's some comment made about the Broncos or a Bronco player in every episode. I'm like, you got to have love for your team. Duh. If you don't love your team the way I love my team, then you just will never talk about them. It just be like that.
Bro, I had a few teams, I think. Sorry, I'm just looking at the ladder, and I'm pretty sure I had the Broncos in. Pretty sure I had the Wars in. I don't know if I had the Eels in. I think I had the Rabbitohs in.
I didn't. I had the Bunnies way out because I put all 4 Queensland teams in. I was like, "It's a year of Queensland," and they all fucking let me down. Except Cowboys.
I think it's the Cowboys that didn't have in because the Cowboys missed last year, eh?
Yeah.
Was it they had like a real good year and a not good year? Yeah, so I had the Cowboys. It was the Cowboys I had out, my Bulldogs, obviously.
I threw away the rubbish. Well, not the rubbish, but the paper I had written it on at the start of the year. But don't worry, Fano. If you just want to hear our predictions again, join us back in the preseason. We will be starting things up before preseason kicks off next year, and we'll give our predictions of the ladder, the Dally M's, and all that other good stuff that we normally do. But this is the end of this episode. It is finished. And if you took nothing away from it, just walk around your town saying, "Ko wai tō pāpā." That's all you need to remember from this episode at Te Whānau. And if you don't know what it means, Google it. Or say it to it, just say it to like the heartiest Māori you can find out. If you're from America and you see Tim Oida Morrison or Taika Waititi or Uncle Cliff, "Ko wai tō pāpā." Otherwise, is it time to wrap the show? You got anything else to say?
I got some things to say.
That's right. No, he does actually. He does. That's right. We do. We're not quite finished. The bro wants to wrap up with a little bit of a dig because hey, we found out Saturday morning. Ko wai tō papa. Go on, Sam. Give it all you got.
Ireland thought they were slick leaving out one half of the anthem. They thought they were slick bringing out the Gaelic version of their anthem.
Bro, we'll give you freaking no English.
Yeah.
I rated that.
No, I actually do like it, but
I rated that.
But like, given the build up to like the game, I was like, "Oh, I see it. I see it. I'm ready." And then Rico leads the haka. Oh. How good. And then Ireland, where ya at? Not in that game, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, for so long we hear about this great Northern Hemisphere, about how they're so good at rugby. France, the only one that won on the weekend? Well, let's see. Aussie somehow beat England. A lot of people were tipping Italy to beat Argentina. Argentina won by 40. France, well, yeah, they played Japan. Understandable that France won. South Africa, they smoked Scotland. Fiji beat Wales. Fiji beat Wales in Wales. Yeah, talk to me about this Northern Hemisphere being so good at rugby. But also, big shout out to Swally. You actually looked really good. I was not expecting it. I was not expecting him to be 13 either. I thought in no world would they put him at 13. But yeah, they put him there. He looked really good. Surprisingly, bro, Aussie looked really good. Aussie looked good. You can tell they just need a bit more time together. It was a little worrying where I was like, oh, shit. Aussie might be on a chance next season if they can kind of keep their combinations together and they can hit the rugby championship. Like, England looked pretty good. South Africa, they kind of just pumped Scotland. Like, Scotland got a red card in I think 10 minutes.
Hell.
10 maybe, if that, yeah. But luckily for Scotland, it was the 20-minute red card, which the Northern Hemisphere was outraged by. But yeah, just Ireland let me down, man. I was like, I really wanted to have a massive dig. I wanted Ireland to be somewhat good, but they were just bad. They were bad. Shout out your Ginger 10 they brought on. Oh, MVP. He must have been eating fucking extra butter popcorn before. Holy hell. Brother couldn't. I don't know, I just feel let down by Ireland. They talk.
You feel let down. Imagine how their country feels. They're trying to say rugby is not even our top sport. This is like our 5th or 6th sport. They're trying to play it low. They reckon Conor McGregor is above the Irish rugby team in terms of popularity. I'm like, he ain't even fought in a millennium. He's an actor now.
He's the greatest athlete. Is what he is.
We see, when you don't make semi-finals of World Cups, it's tough to really be like, oh yeah, we're gonna get on them back. These winners. When you get the number one spot back in the world of your sport, and it's because the other number one team lost the game, you ain't even playing, and somehow you make it back to number one. Yeah, questions about that one.
Bet you they wish they had played the week before. It's what happens when your first game is against the All Blacks. Well, don't you know? Don't play us in your first game. That's a recipe for disaster. Damn.
No Bowden, no Cody, no Richie.
Look, man, they just got too arrogant and confident for their own good. You need to build a solid foundation before you come at us. Ours is built from the 1900s to today. Theirs is built from 2019. That's not a foundation. That's a platform. Barely a platform. That's like a plank. They ain't put in the money. They haven't put in blood, sweat, and tears. The greatest players like
they've put in tears. They have put in tears.
Well, yeah,
I'll tell you that
every
much.
quarterfinal.
They put them in books.
Every quarterfinal they in tears. What's their greatest player? Like fucking Brian, what's his name?
Oh, Driscoll, man.
Yeah, that's their only great player. We've got a plethora of greats. They have a great singular. Before they chat shit.
Their best half. Oh no, actually, I thought who was the half before Gibson Park took over? He's still in their team now.
Connor Murray.
I thought there was a period where Connor Murray was next level good. I mean, Johnny Sexton, he might be one of my favourite 10s that's not a Kiwi. But then you look at all their ones now, they play for them that are really good. Couldn't make our team. So it's like hard to...
Yeah, what? Bundy, where'd he come from? Like Manurewa. Frickin' James Lowe, where'd he come from? Probably Manurewa too. And then Jameson Gibson Park, where'd he come from? Flex me.
He's from... I thought he was from... Oh, is he from there? Gizzy? Gizzy?
Flex me.
Alright, fair enough.
Flex me. Where in Ireland is flex me? Sound like New South Wales, Queensland to me.
What did you think of Rico leading? Did you see? I thought he did
a
pretty
good job.
But wait, you didn't like his style? What?
Nah, he sucked, but it was a vibe. It was a vibe. Nah, he sucked. It was average. He was a vibe though. It was a vibe. Like I rated the meaning more than the actual performance itself. He sucked.
I'll be honest. I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing at the fact that they meme the shit out of Ireland in Ireland.
Had to, mate.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a missed opportunity if they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, that's not classy from the All Blacks. I said, who cares? It's fucking on. Put that in your book.
Sometimes you got to be petty.
Put that in your book.
Sam Kane, he even said, mate, I'm not even going to write a book. Because it's pathetic.
He should have... There was a moment there where I was like, I wish Sam Kane would just rip these guys. He's actually been really good this year, I feel like. Like, since he's come back to the All Blacks.
Yeah, and
he has been, actually. He has been. He's been a solid performer, I think. It's been a refreshing change from yesteryear, I think, you know. It's a good, I don't know, what is it?
I think a lot of it is the pressure of not being captain anymore.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. He's not got all that, you're New Zealand's man anymore.
Yeah.
He's just the 7.
It's gone past you were meant to be the next Richie.
Yeah.
I feel like that plus being captain would be just...
That was way too much pressure to put on my guy, man.
Yep.
Like, Richard McCaw won Super Rugby titles. My boy couldn't even win us a title.
Well, it was unfair because we did have the next Richie. He just never got to play in the All Blacks. Matt Todd.
Nah, Matt Todd wasn't.
Matt Todd was that guy.
He was not that guy.
He was that guy.
Nah.
Sober up.
Other question I want to ask.
Wasn't that guy.
Do you think Kane should go to Japan and then
play with Joey?
No. Just reevaluate his I'm done with international after this.
Nah. Just go live out your life because he's probably one good head knock away from, you know.
This just assuming. This is just assuming, like, come the year of the World Cup, he's actually still all good. Like, do you think he should reconsider potentially being like, hey, I can come back and play an ITM Cup game. I can be eligible.
I feel like it's a play it by ear.
He came back before we got caught up. He played in the semi-finals here for Tonga Sports against G-Town, Greater Marist. And
bro, that would piss me right off.
And he lost too. They lost their semis because Greater won it. but but he played in it though. To be fair, I think their Grenon
the
team
bench.
was the one. Who's the prop that came out of nowhere is now in the All Black? Paisa, the one.
Basilio Tossi.
Yeah, that's the club he plays for, which is the one just down the road from my whare.
Oh, so is that your local?
Yeah, I don't support them.
Is that your team?
Oh, not really. I guess if I had to pick like a local rugby team, yeah, probably Maris. I'm not fucking ripping Rangatoa. My nephew wants to play for Rangatoa, and I was like, oh, nah. I'm not ever coming. I was like, I don't think I can ever come to your games. I was like, why you want to play for them? Because all of his friends go there, you see? That's where all the Māori kids go to. And now I'm like, oh, fuck, nephew. Shit, you're asking a lot here. Fucking making me go to enemy territory to watch you play rugby? I don't know.
But if that's where all the Māori kids go, brother,
No, but I was
you have to.
heartbroken. You know, I was like, really? Of all the teams, that one? Oh, I don't know.
You still got League Live there?
Yeah. I think I just have to log in to the nephew's account because it's on his account.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
one
make
of
sure
those
you keep it
ones.
downloaded, G. I'll be over your ways.
Well, I think he's moving up to
Soon.
Tonga now. Well, actually, he's already here, so. Yeah.
What you're saying is he's moved in.
Yeah, well, I think so. I thought he was coming up for a holiday, but he's still here, so.
He's moved in now.
Yeah, man.
You're gonna have a bunkie, a cellmate.
Oh no, he's over at my sister's whare.
Oh, yo.
But yeah.
Anything else? Anything else?
No.
Get up the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Keep it
also,
going.
just because they do some underhanded shit in Ireland, we don't hate your country. Just if your team was a little bit more humble, you don't need to send the IRA after us. We're all good.
Nah, you know what? Send them.
After Samuel Aurelius Tarangi.
Yeah, send them and bring Johnny with you. I have a few things to say to him.
You know they blow people up, right?
No, I don't.
The IRA, yeah, they're fucked.
All I know is their rugby team stinks.
Nah, but they're actually crazy though. Like they bomb cunts and shit.
Oh, then NZRU, what are we doing? Get Geordie away from there. Get Geordie away from there. Don't be letting him go there.
All we're saying is, we're coming for your rugby team, not your actual country. Your country's actually not bad. You guys have curry sauce and stuff with your chips. It's nice. Have you had it?
No.
Nah, I have curry sauce with a naan.
Nah. It's a different type of curry.
Wait, is
sauce.
there the one?
No.
Is that like their midnight snack?
Yeah,
I think I've heard about it.
Yeah, brev. That potatoes. I love potatoes, brev. What else?
I mean, who doesn't love potatoes? Is the better question.
Yeah, gee. Nah, English. Didn't they try to give them a famine?
I think they
He's
more
not
than
doing
tried.
history.
I think they more than tried.
Yeah, that's true. LOL.
I think they succeeded.
All right, let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm going to start my wrap up with thank you all so much for your continued support throughout the season. It's been huge. We have only a couple of episodes left before we wrap up for the year. But hey, we've almost got our first season under the belt, our debut season, a new team on the block. It's been long. It's been, what's the word I'm looking for? Educational. Just learning more about podcasting, more about league. It's kind of taxing, but it's fun at the same time. Like I did get sick of watching league through the middle half of the season there, but there was a point once we hit optimal flow, and even if we didn't watch a game, we could kind of get the gist of it and wing it. There was that point of the season where we were like, I didn't watch this game, but blah 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 blah, and here's what they needed, blah 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 blah, and we were on point. Hopefully next year we can get a little bit more support behind us. Hopefully we can find a sponsor, and if we get a sponsor, Stefano, we can get some merch out for you guys, and maybe we'll do a few giveaways. But that's only if we get some sponsors. Otherwise, that's it from me. Be sure to come back Thursday, we'll have another episode for you. We'll do the last of the team reviews. And then we'll probably start talking about our off-season content. But until then, go and check out my other channel, Wrench Throttle. It's on YouTube. I just dropped 4 videos. I'm so tired from editing them all of last week. Went all the way from Taranaki to Cape Reinga, and we've got all the content up there for you. It's like 2 hours worth of footage all up, condensed from 15 hours worth of footage. Yeah, so go and check it out, whānau. I've got like 280 subs over there. Help me get to 300. And I'm going to try and convert them all into the practice run listeners. I'm going to start just high-key, not even low-key about it. I'm just high-key going to just push the channel over there. Just, hey, if you love rugby league, go check out the practice run. Your frontline pass to the harder sports action. This video is sponsored by the practice run. So go and check it out at the whānau. But that's it from me. Over to you, Sam.
Yeah, firstly, let's go Argentina. You guys are playing Ireland. Let's get that win.
Let's go.
On Saturday morning, our time.
What time?
9:10 on Saturday morning.
Okay, I'll get up for that.
Let's get up. South Africa.
Always.
You guys are playing England. 6:40 on Sunday.
AM.
And then into the New Zealand-France game, 9:10 a.m. New Zealand time. I'm tired of hearing about the Pont, man. Let's go. Start Roygaard and show them the new guys here. He's ready to outdo it. Hopefully, Bodie and Cody will be back because we'll probably need them. Asafo Mua, actually really good. Really good. Had the gas in him. Aussie, you're playing Wales, brother. They haven't won a game in their last 10 games. I think it is. They're 0-10. So 0-11, hopefully. 0-11. Other than that, shout out to the practice run. Yeah, by I don't know. You guys got any more baseball shirts left?
Yeah, man, I'll send one down, bro.
Buy a baseball shirt. Buy a cap. Buy a hoodie.
Caps.
Yep. Summer's coming up. Use code ain't got one for
Use code full price to pay full price.
use code full price for a 0% discount.
Just support the channel, whānau. Support the channel.
But other than that, shout out to the Kiwis for finally getting a win. Shout out to the All Blacks for getting that dub. And it's a bit tough. I'm pretty sure the cricket lost. I know the Breakers lost. What else we got? Yeah, let's go to the Celtics, eh? Peyton Pritchard, 6th man of the year. And yeah, like, subscribe, comment. If you're from Ireland, I don't want to hear it because I will just comment in your head 4 more years. If you're from the IRA,
just comment.
My
Put
name
that
was.
In your book.
I'm from Australia, actually. I'm zoomed in.
Brother, they've already hacked.
I'm from Papua New Guinea. And no, the refs in the bunker didn't allow New Zealand to score 54 points. Saw a lot of that, by the way. Well, the refs handed New Zealand the win. 54 points would say otherwise. But yeah, other than that, over to you two.
Alrighty, that is a wrap on this episode, whānau. The last one where there is league being played. Once again, shout out to the Kangaroos for getting the job. Oh, wait, is that even their name? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
For getting the job done and winning the Pacific Cup. Shout out to Tonga for keeping it close and making it to the final. Yeah, luckily the boys didn't get relegated, but I don't really know what to do, man. I mean, I guess there's no preview show. I already said it. We got a few episodes to go before we wrap up for the season. Stay tuned. We might have something new coming your way. You know, now that league's over, we might be able to switch it up and we might talk about sports that you do follow, other sports that you follow, other than the one that we love, of course, that being rugby league. So stay tuned. We still got a lot to come through. The first season is almost over. We'll be back bigger. I don't know about bigger, but should definitely be better. Ideally bigger.
It better be better. It better be.
We'll definitely be better, you know. Might have a new 4K camera. I hardly doubt it, but you never know. Could be on the work-ons. I've been pretty good this, you know. I'm hoping Santa Claus. Hopefully he can help me out come Christmas. But yes, look. I mean, we always are thankful for the love and support we get from all of our friends and family, both near and far. Really do appreciate it. It's been a journey somewhat, and we are here, still doing the do. But I might leave it there for the week. We will see yous
Thursday.
There will be an
Thursday.
episode. Yep.
We'll do the wrap up of the what is it? The grading season grades on Thursday, and then we'll no longer have the Tuesday episodes. We'll just drop Thursday episodes because we've got nothing to recap.
Yes. You heard it here first, Whānau. Thursday will be our last review of the season, and then we'll be dropping. Anyway, we'll stop it there. We will see you on Thursday, and as always, be safe, Whānau. Church, mā te wā.